Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review. And we're back with season 3 of Oshinoko. So leaving off, after the whole of Kana's little friend, which I assumed that definitely had a guy take pictures of her trying to create a scandalous topic for the paper. So you're walking out of the studio of where the director was, trying to create a topic, purposely, because this goes more in the whole entertainment business, how corrupt this thing is, and any something like that can leak out and can destroy whole careers. And even the was where Ruby was going to, like, all these girls in the dressing room, right? Where they were acknowledged their boyfriends, but they have to keep it, kind of hush hush, and so because especially in the world with iPhones of today, especially with the social media, especially how pictures and everything like that, just it is kind of a seeing how it's a toxic business, especially with with idols and singers and actors, just like seeing with you know having couples like that, having boys, especially the female idols having boyfriends and all that stuff. So you see they're talking about their boyfriends, just but they just gotta keep it keep it on the low profile, So and even though they're asking, hey Ruby, what do you have a boyfriend? Or asking, oh my brother, we go with it's like she mentioned her brother was like, well, that's not a date though. That's not having a boyfriend. Did you have an actual guy? And back with Kana, just after she got approached by that guy taking the pictures, she just doesn't know what to do. It's like she freezes up and she doesn't know, she gets scared. She runs away, and seeing how this can just ruin her life, that she's a and I like how like we see her saying frozenly still, and we see all these titles coming. I was like, oh, this idol is a whore, or this idol is like shameful, and all that stuff. Just imagining all the hate comments and stuff like that. Just like this is just beginning to. It was like back when we first saw Akane just being cyberboy. She's already, but Akana's already imagining all the hateful comments, and so she stops and then she goes and walks away, but yeah, she forgets her purse and her phone, and so everyone's calling her. They don't know where she's at, and Mem's worried, and she was gonna go try to find her, and Aqua's like, wait, no, you don't know where she's at, but she goes anyway, and even they're at the what was her name, who runs the agency that they're running, and she got the picture, she got the files from the pictures from those files that got sent to her. It's like, oh no, this is not good at all. And so he goes and tries to find her, and so and they remembers a place where they were before, back in season 1 when they were, playing baseball together, playing catch. So he goes over there, which turns out she is there, but she's sitting by herself, just murmuring to herself. I was like, why did I ever do this in the first place? I guess I was never meant to be an idol. I was just a nobody. Maybe just meant to be a nobody. So why did I get this in the first place? Because no, I know I don't have a sweet personality. I have a nasty attitude. I have a foul mouth and all that. It's just and and then Aqua behind her. Aqua is right behind her from above, from a high, not a high balcony, but from like a sidewalk that's above behind her. And then he sees her, but he was gonna say something, but he hears her and say, you know what? It's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm tired of being nice and sweet. I'm just gonna be who I am. You know, they're all, I don't care anymore about these hate comments and what's gonna happen if this hits the media and all that stuff, right? I'm just gonna be me. You know, the mean Kana, the real Kana, basically. And he was gonna, but since he goes, I guess it goes further. I guess it further proves that he does not have feelings for Kana, and same Kana same for him, same for her, because he says like I don't need anybody else. I'm just gonna be myself. I don't need anyone's help, He gets to think about the vice of just having trying to depend on Aqua, trying to help her, but he doesn't want her help. She doesn't want his help. So I mean, it's like yeah, then Aqua hears that all that stuff and he just silently walks away, and so and it just goes shows like how toxic this whole business, how corrupt this whole business is, and so and hey, Kana's she's tired of being the nice girl, she's just gonna be who she is, like I said, her personality is not innocent at all, like as we've seen before. So and just now with Aqua, just it makes me believe, by the end of the series, is this gonna ever gonna be anyone gonna have a happy ending, Although it would be because first of all, pretty much everybody wants to have a have a happy ending, Although personally I would too, though. But although it'd be intriguing if it doesn't do it, I mean, it'd be just something different because but we all want to have happy endings. But if it goes like in a depressing, downbeat ending, I'm like, okay, this is how it goes. I mean, I have not read the manga though, so I don't know how the ending where it goes though. So, but if way things are going, am I going to see way things are going with these characters? I'm probably going to see no happy ending. That's what I'm saying. I mean, no amount of therapy if they ever go to, is not gonna relinquish that, of what's going on. And then with the ending, we see Akane going to go out and search for him. Since she has information that she found out, right? She's gonna go out and find him, and she goes like, maybe I should be a private eye instead of an actress. I'm like, yeah, I mean, you've been the Miss Sherlock Holmes even from the first season, from the first season trying to find out about like Aqua's past and all that stuff, right? I mean, you've been Miss Sherlock Holmes. That's what I call you. So I'm like, yeah, maybe you should be more of a private eye instead of being an actress. Start your own business, being a private detective, or otherwise you're gonna probably end up crazy like what was her name from Call of the Night, the private detective who wanted to destroy the vampires and who was friends with Nuzuna, you know, crazy. But it's like probably you're not gonna be well. First of all, that's dealing with vampires though. So, but hopefully she why don't you be a private eye, but you're not gonna be as crazy as she was in Call of the Night though. But and then we see the last scene we see, which we see there was of Aqua's father in an alley just acknowledging what's gonna happen, probably anticipating what's gonna happen next though. So but yeah, I mean episode. Why do I always do this every time? Which episode was it? Probably episode. I hate doing this. I sure already know what episode I'm already in. I'm already going to next though. Yeah, episode. Yeah, we're on episode 30. Yeah, episode 30. But I enjoy episode 30. It's been a very I mean, especially with season 3, it's been more intense one after another. Especially after when Aqua got the bomb dropped on him. They say that his father is still alive. It's been each episode from start of season 3. It's been more intense than each one, and that's a good thing. I've been loving this series overall, but this is when season 3 has been getting more intense in each and every one now, and it's the point where because Akane she wants to do the revenge for Aqua, and then with Ruby, and it's like hey, eventually, hey, maybe all three of them will team up, either his brother or sister, or Akane or a boyfriend and girlfriend, or all three. So, but Akane is probably wants to try to go out to do the revenge for him. So, but episode 30 it's another been an intense episode, I would say. But just like the whole thing, just say with Kana, just the whole crook. Just imagine how what would happen if that got leaked out, So, but you know what? At the end of the day, she said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna be me. I don't care about who says about anything about me." So yeah, but overall, very enjoyable episode. Great episode. So that's episode 30 of season 3 of Emotional Code. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll see you next time. Later.